Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Advocate Bulem Matelo. If you are new to this channel, the purpose of this channel is to preach the Word of God and to teach South African law. Now, I want to thank all those who have subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Just click that red word subscribe and automatically you'll be subscribed. It's for free. And also please comment and share this video so that together we can grow. Today I will be teaching South African law on, is it possible for me, once married, to change the type of my marriage? The last video on my teachings on South African law, we discussed the main two types of marriages in South Africa. We said it is marriage in community of property, and we also said the second one is marriage out of community of property, and that the marriage out of community of property has with accrual or without accrual. And we unpacked those. Now, today the question is, once you are married in community of property, are you able to come at a later stage to say, you know what, for one reason or another, I want to change from in community of property to out of community of property? Can you do so? Are you allowed to do so in terms of South African law? The answer is yes. In terms of Section 21, subsection 1 of the Matrimonial Property Act, number 88 of 1984, the law in South Africa allows you to change your marital status, to change your marital regime, to change from being married in community of property to be married out of community of property. Now, there are few things that you need to do to be able to implement this change. The first one, both of you must agree. You must both consent. And once you consent, both of you must make an application to the High Court to that effect. And when you make this application to the High Court, some of the things that you have to do are the following. You have to prepare a contract, a notarial contract, with an attorney called a notary. This is now your special attorney who is an attorney also admitted or also specializes in notarial matters. This attorney will help you to prepare this contract. In it, because you are making an application to the High Court, you must state sound reasons, both of you, why you want to effect change to your marriage type. You must be able to give the court convincing reasons. It's not just any other reason when you wake up and say, oh, I made a mistake. Because the thing is, when you get married, before you enter into marriage, you must have decided that I'm marrying in or out. If you don't prepare that contract, that notarial contract, you're automatically assumed to be married in community of property. So a demonstration to the effect that you want to marry out of community of property is because it would have been prepared before you get married. Now, it's not easy to change from in to out, though it is doable. It's not easy because you have to provide those sound reasons. Secondly, it's not easy because it is now going to be expensive. Some of the things that you will be required to do is to list all your creditors, all the people that you owe. Sometimes it's a bank, maybe you've bought a house, you have a mortgage bond. You have to inform all your creditors. And how do you inform them? There must be a notice that you write into local newspaper. If you stay in Pretoria like me, as an example, there is Pretoria News, there's the Record, there are other local newspaper, at least 2. But also, there must be a letter to all your creditors informing them of this decision. And this must be a registered letter to ensure that indeed they receive this letter. Once this is done, this notarial contract, it must be registered in the deeds office. And the other factor, except for sound reasons, except for listing all your creditors, the other factor that the court will take into account is the fact that the decision to change your type of marriage does not jeopardize any person. If the court is convinced that nobody will be jeopardized by this decision, it is then that the court, with your sound reason, with the requirements, all the requirements be met, like listing your creditors, informing them, your court will grant an order to that effect. Now, in your application, you have to provide your details, your income tax number, your ID, your marriage certificate. You must provide proof of residence. If you have children, provide the details of your children. You must also state your assets and your liabilities. All those things must be stated. It is then that this can be granted. As I mentioned earlier on, except for the fact that it is tedious, for example, it can take plus minus 3 months for you to get this changed or the proposed change. It can take something like this. 3 months, sometimes even more. But I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm just trying to mention some of the few challenges or disadvantages when you decide to change the type of your marriage. But all in all, it is important to note that yes, in terms of South African law, it is doable. You don't have to be stuck in the type of marriage that you are no longer comfortable with, especially if you have sound reasons. And sound reasons will depend from case to case. So clearly, the court will consider the merits of each case. I thank you. I hope you find this helpful. Please subscribe. Please help me to share this message by sharing these videos. And please comment. Even feel free to suggest to me in the comment section which other topics I must teach on. Because bear in mind, this is not legal advice. This is legal education. With the hope that at least you get a sense of direction, what to do, where to go, and so on and so forth. Thank you very much.